The world remembers Adolf Hitler as a symbol of cruelty and evil, particularly as the leader of the Nazi Party of Germany and as a key figure in the Second World War. However, there are a number of other aspects that are not widely known about him, and we will be discussing some of these aspects in this video. So stay tuned and enjoy the video. Hitler hated the dentist. We all have our phobias: spiders, dark, Suriname toads, you name it. But like 10% of humankind, Hitler was scared of dental procedures. He hated going to the dentist and once had to have a root canal put in over 8 days because the pain was unbearable. Because of his dentist phobia and possibly his sweet tooth, Hitler had poor oral hygiene and his breath was foul. He had many abscesses, and also he had gum disease. In 1944, Hitler had to do 10 tooth fillings at once as a result of avoiding the dentist many times. The man who killed millions of people was actually scared of his dentist. Isn't that funny? He went to prison for 5 years after a failed coup d'etat. In order to seize power in Bavaria, Adolf Hitler and his supporters staged a coup d'etat in southern Germany known as the Beer Hall Putsch. The coup failed, resulting in the death of 4 police officers and 16 Nazi Party members. The coup also led to Adolf Hitler's arrest and 5 years imprisonment for high treason. During his imprisonment, Hitler wrote the first part of his autobiography political manifesto, Mein Kampf or My Struggle. After his trial and imprisonment, Hitler sought to regain power through the rebuilding of the Nazi Party and the use of the democratic process, which he used to develop Nazi propaganda further. In the German presidential election of 1932, Adolf Hitler ran for the presidency against Paul von Hindenburg. Although he lost the election with only 32.7% of the vote, Hitler established himself as a powerful political figure in Germany. Hence, Hindenburg was forced to appoint Hitler to the office of Chancellor in 1933, and the Nazi Party won 3 seats in the cabinet that year. Hitler didn't like the sound of his voice. There are many things that Adolf Hitler did in his lifetime, but one of the most famous is his speeches. However, he never allowed his unofficial voice to be recorded because he hated his real voice. This is why there are no recordings of him speaking normally or in an unofficial manner, except for one, which is Mannerheim recording. This is the only record of a conversation that Hitler ever had in which he spoke in his true voice. The conversation is between Adolf Hitler and the Commander-in-Chief of Finland, Carl Gustaf Emil Mannerheim. The only reason this recording is available to the public is because it was secretly recorded. This recording only lasts 11 minutes because the SS or Schutzstaffel guards soon realized that they were being recorded, so they stopped the recording. The recording was never destroyed, and the Germans kept it in a sealed box that was never opened. After Hitler's death in 1960, they released the audio, and that's when the public actually heard his real voice. He admired Disney. Adolf Hitler loved to watch people get killed, butchered, raped, and tortured, but on the other side of the coin, he was also a big fan of the animation series, Disney. He was particularly fond of the animated film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. He was said to have been mesmerized by the sophisticated animation, and was jealous of the fact that German animators were unable to produce anything of the same caliber, and admired the film for its origin as a German folk story. The Nazi Ministry of Propaganda purchased many prints of Disney films, and Hitler was not afraid to get out his watercolor and sketch some of the Disney characters himself. One Disney character that Hitler did not like was Mickey Mouse because he considered Mickey Mouse to be a degenerated character. Hitler used the Reichstag fire to take away civil rights. On February 27, 1993, the Reichstag, or the German House of Parliament, was set on fire, and the blame for the attack was placed on a communist conspiracy, with some saying it was the work of Dutch communist Marinus van der Lubbe, and others saying it was the Nazis. After the attack, Adolf Hitler urged President Reinhard Heydrich to suspend fundamental civil rights and to hold political opponents without trial. As the Nazis strengthened their hold on power, they used the Reichstag fire decree and Reichstag enabling law to turn the government into an absolute dictatorship. The government used this power to bully other political parties into submission, making the Nazi Party the only legal political party in the country. When Hindenburg died in 1934, the Nazi Party took over the president's office and combined it with the functions of the chancellor's office, making Hitler the leader of state and the head of government, which also made it impossible to remove Hitler from office by anyone. Hitler was also able to take control of the military through the blackmail of high-level officials and was careful to present his dictatorship as legal and constitutional. He never visited a concentration camp. There were over 1,000 concentration and extermination camps built by the Nazi Party during Adolf Hitler's time as Chancellor of Germany. Initially, these camps held Communist Party members, but then they were used to house more categories of people, including Jews, criminals, and so-called associates. At one time, these concentration camps held about 1.65 million registered prisoners, and approximately 1 million people were killed in these camps alone. Hundreds of thousands more were killed in the death marches toward the end of the Second World War. But the extermination camps were far worse, and these camps served only as a killing ground for millions of men, women, and children by systematically gassing and starving them to death. Even when these horrible things happened in the camps, the cruel dictator Adolf Hitler never visited these concentration or extermination camps, not even to inspect whether things were happening as he wanted. He had a plan to build a museum to an extinct race. During his regime, Adolf Hitler and the Nazis accused most of Germany's problems of being caused by the Jews and considered the Aryan race superior to all other races. They wanted to wipe out the Jews and all other races. One of the more mysterious facts about Adolf Hitler is that he had a plan to build a museum of an extinct race. The museum was meant to display artifacts of the race that they were about to wipe out. The Nazis stole gold, silver, money, paintings, and many other cultural items to put into the museum. Agents of the Monuments, Fine Arts, and Archives program has recovered many of these items, but many are still missing. He wanted to become a priest. At a young age, even before his dreams of becoming a painter, Adolf Hitler had a dream of being a priest. He attended the Catholic Church as a boy and was in the choir. He also took singing lessons to improve his voice so he could serve in the church choir better. This was mainly because his parents were very religious, and the Catholic Church was a major part of his childhood. But as he grew older, he hated the Catholic Church, and while he did admire Martin Luther and a few aspects of the Protestant faith, it is clear that he wanted to destroy the entire Christian church. He had an obsession with his half-niece. Another interesting fact about Adolf Hitler is that he was obsessed with his half-niece, Angela Maria Geli Raubal, who was Adolf Hitler's half-sister's daughter. As Adolf Hitler's rise to power progressed, he became more and more obsessed with Raubal and kept a close eye on her activities. In fact, he practically made her his prisoner, living in his Munich flat. Geli had an affair with Hitler's chauffeur, Emil Maurice. When Hitler found out about it, he had the chauffeur fired and also restricted Geli from associating with any of her friends. When Geli wanted to move to Vienna, Hitler didn't let her go. That led to an argument between both, and later that day, Geli was found dead in Adolf Hitler's apartment. It is believed that she shot herself with Hitler's pistol. However, some people speculated that Hitler killed her, but the police reported no foul play. His family's physician, Edward Bloch, was Jewish. One of the most important facts about Adolf Hitler that is hard to believe is that Hitler's family doctor was a Jewish person. Dr. Edward Bloch was an Austrian Jewish doctor who treated Adolf Hitler and his immediate family. Dr. Bloch also treated Adolf Hitler's mother, Clara, when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. After knowing the family's financial situation of the patients, Bloch sometimes offered a discount or even waived the entire cost of the treatment. Because of this, Bloch was given special protection by the Nazis after the annexation of Austria. In fact, Hitler himself has many times called him a Edeljude, or noble Jew. Well, that's all for today, guys. Which of the above was unbelievable to you? Let us know that in the comment below. Thank you for watching the video, and if you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.